Hey, it's John Gafford. If you want to catch up more and see what we're doing, you can always go to thejohngafford.com, where we'll share any links that things we talked about on the show, as well as links to the YouTube where you can watch us live. And if you want to catch up with me on Instagram, you can always follow me at thejohngafford. I'm here. Give me a shout. Back from the break for part 2 of today's episode about resiliency, where we're discussing the book Resiliency by Eric Greitens. And yeah, I think if you missed part 1, you should go back and check it out. I mean, but if you're here on YouTube, whatever it is, and if you're here on YouTube, do me a solid. Hit the old like and subscribe. And actually, whatever you're listening to us on, if you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple, I normally don't pander for the reviews, but it does help.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
I mean, just throw some review. Just, hey, man, it's not hard.
Good job. Thanks. 5 stars.
Hopefully, look at this way. It's kind of like Uber.
Look
at this. Okay, it's like Uber, though. There's the driver, and then there's the rider. So I would like you to grade it on me, the driver's performance, not so much Colt, the rider's performance.
Well, in all fairness, John, you got to be careful, because at the quinceanera,
yeah,
a guy did come up to me and go, "Hey, are you one of the guys on Colt's podcast?"
Are you serious? Colt's podcast, did he say it in Spanish? And Colt's podcast. You know what?
I was hoping you guys would die in Egypt.
Colt,
and it happened.
Look.
Me gusta tu podcast.
Look, I'm not there yet. God willing, one day I'll be share. But, you know, this is our podcast. Let's be honest. It is our podcast. And in Colt, would we have more than 10,000 subscribers if we didn't have Colt?
I would.
Probably.
Zero chance.
Probably. No, you
John,
probably would.
Would you be here?
No. But if Colt wasn't here,
would I be here?
No. I don't. I see you on all the time. Yeah. Spending these time with Colt is the highlight of my life.
You know, I appreciate it, and yeah, there's a lot of Chris's there. Chris became real friendly at the bar. Everybody loved Chris.
Shocking.
At the bar.
Shocking.
Yeah. Chris was in the bar line, met a lot of my family. Had some.
Tengo mucho.
Well, yesterday we jumped on the jet to go to Kansas City, and I needed Chris for some stuff that we had to talk about, and he wound up sitting in the back with like the Russian videographer, and like where I would have been like looking for the earbuds about 5 minutes in. Chris was like, I would last I could live in wherever the shit we're talking about,
Siberia.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm from this small town in Siberia, and it's like, what, like 10 people, 20 people? She's like, no, it's very small though, 650,000.
Like, that's not too small.
What?
Yeah, that's a major metropolitan frozen tundra city. That's it. Yeah,
it's Winnipeg.
All right, well, let's jump back into talking about resiliency. And this says when we're struggling, we talked about that already. This is skipping on that one. You'll have to go backwards and hear that one if you want to do it. One of the reasons you are suffering right now is precisely because the purpose of your struggle is unclear. What are you working toward? What are you fighting for? Who are you going to be? And again, I think that's about having clarity of purpose, clarity of self, clarity of all of those things. If you don't have that, I think it's like what we say about stoicism. If you don't know which port you sail, no wind is favorable.
Yeah, right. That is a great statement.
And I think it goes. It's so funny, man, how if these resiliency books go so hand in hand with
the concept of
stoicism. Yeah, I mean, it just really does.
Well, resilience is basically everything, right?
Yeah.
Discipline, because resilience is a form of it's a description of discipline, and discipline is something that. Do you know people that don't struggle with discipline? That it's just completely natural. So do you know people that are highly disciplined that are unsuccessful? And the second part of that question, do you know people that don't struggle with discipline in general? Everybody struggles with discipline. Right. Every single person you've ever met struggles with discipline. To get up early, to eat the right things, to do all these things, right? Yeah. Everybody struggles with it. Professional bodybuilders that come out on stage and look absolutely elite, right? They still struggle with their diet. They struggle with the discipline. They look at the cake and they go, whatever. If you don't, you're a psychopath. Right, yeah. You're a crazy person if you don't struggle with discipline, right? Yeah. I want to give up I'll stay up late and party and binge this Netflix show. I'm not going to go to bed early and eat healthy, whatever. That's the number one struggle for a healthy lifestyle.
Well, I think the reason that people stuff with discipline is just what this says. They don't know who they're fighting for. They don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They don't know what they're working toward. They don't know.
Look at those people on the path, though. Like I said, a professional bodybuilder. Right. Yeah. Their goal is more important to them than the chocolate cookie or the donut or whatever. Yeah. So that direction amazing. That direction though keeps them on track. Yeah. Because they know what they want. Yeah. It's a path. I want to be Mr. Olympia. I want to be Miss, Nevada. I want that thing. When
your goals are more important to you than the bullshit around you, you'll achieve them.
That's right.
It's just resilience. A decision.
But cookies. I mean, God.
Are you going for? Because you know what season it is.
Top 5 cookies.
No, we know what season it is right now. You guys don't know anybody with little girls if you haven't got
Oh, is it?
It's time.
Am I the only one that doesn't like Girl Scout cookies?
Yes, you are, Colt. Yes,
I do not
and
like
you should
them.
not be surprised by that. You are the only one that. Yes, I know. This is more shocking than Star Wars. Look at his face.
Cookies. Star Wars. I'll listen.
Do you know
to
what? Chris started talking to me, and I don't remember. We started drinking about something about he's on board with my Star Wars sucks. Maybe you were drinking too much.
No.
I'm pretty sure you did. But
I'm not. I don't.
You're not even arguing this, right?
Top 3 cookies? What's your top 3 cookies?
All Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah, all Girl Scout cookies.
They wouldn't even make the top 20.
What? Okay, Colt. What are your
just the whole planet?
Okay, watch this. Here it comes. Ready? Same time. Favorite cookie. It's going to be Fig Newton, isn't it? It's going to totally be Fig Newton.
You know what? They're not as bad as they. Tell me they're that bad. They're not that bad.
They're terrible.
That's not a cookie. That's like a biscuit.
It is.
Or is it?
They say on the package cookies.
Yeah,
you know
not a
what?
cookie.
Oh, the Delta biscuit.
It's not a cookie.
The Delta ones.
All right, what's your favorite? What's your favorite cookie?
Deltas? I mean,
the biscotti cookies.
Okay,
those are solid.
That would be number
I love
3.
Biscotti's cookies are solid.
A homemade chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah,
that is just.
But it has to be like flat. It can't be nice and fluffy.
I don't like the big fat. I like them. I
like a flat
little
one.
burn,
It's
little
gotta
burn.
be flat.
You ever stayed at one of those Hampton Inns or?
Yeah, they got the cookies right there at the front. You get them warm. Yeah.
The warm cookies and milk.
Yeah,
that's
fucking.
What were the back in? This might be for you. Back in the title days, what were Otis Spunkmeyer cookies?
Otis Spunkmeyer.
Every title company had those. I would have go with the Delta biscuit. What are they called?
Biscotti.
A good pumpkin.
Pumpkin? What? A pumpkin cookie? Dude. Okay,
what?
Listen.
A pumpkin
wait,
with chocolate chips.
Hang on, stop for a second. Look,
you like white chocolate?
Hang on. Look. Here's a message. I don't know if you can hear this in space. But whatever alien life form has programmed your pod person to come to the planet,
we've discovered him.
You've got some
glitch.
You've got some serious glitches in your programming.
Yeah, debug before you send them back.
Do not make. I don't think they make pumpkin cookies. I don't think that exists.
What? First off, I will fly Delta over any airline just to get the Delta, but you can buy them at Costco.
What is a pumpkin cookie?
A pumpkin with pumpkin with chocolate chips in them. Oh, phenomenal! When it's pumpkin season. Oh, I'm bringing you guys some.
What is it? Pumpkin season.
October and November, right? Is there not a pumpkin season?
I mean, I guess autumn.
Yeah.
You ever had those cookies? They're almost like butterscotch cookies.
I don't like butterscotch. Ugh, top 3 worst.
I love those.
All right, let's just go worst.
Oh, so number 1 is an Oreo. Oh man,
I do love an Oreo.
Oreos.
I'll give it to him for that.
A dunked Oreo.
Yeah, no, in milk. You can't drink it.
But
dry
Oreo.
You're a psychopath.
You cannot.
You can eat a dry chocolate chip cookie, which makes it a better cookie than an Oreo.
No,
I
can eat a dry. But you can't get the knockoff Oreos. You ever had knockoff Oreos?
Like Hi-Ho's or Heidi Ho's?
Yeah, try to save 50 cents. Worst decision ever. I'm all about a good deal, but you got to get the original Oreos.
Pumpkin cookie.
With a chocolate chip?
I've never seen this. 13 lifetimes, and I just started naming flavors, and I wouldn't have got there.
Never seen it.
I'm a big pumpkin. I'm a big pumpkin
That's a top
fan. Pumpkin chocolate
What's the worst cookie?
Oh, God.
One pick, not top 10.
What's the worst
Anything
cookie?
with raisins in them. Who puts raisins?
I'm going Snickerdoodle.
Really?
Oh, really?
I like the
I
Snickerdoodle.
like Snickerdoodle.
No, I'm sorry. No.
Delicious.
Sorry. The pecan sandy. That's the one I want.
Oh, anything pecan.
That's the one
Is
you're
it pecan
That's the one
or
you're
pecan?
No, it's a pecan if you're from the South. But that's the one like my grandmother always had at her house, and I'm like, oh, great. I'm not.
Yeah, my grandma always said she had some shitty cookies, but. Here's a kind of an underrated
what kind
thing.
of grandma has shitty cookies?
She's German, so everything was like lard.
Yeah, I'm not.
Or they were like Russian Germans. Everything had lard in it. You know those Danish. Here's a thing in my life that I've never thought about. Okay, but they never had anything in them. In my family, that was like for sewing needles and all that shit.
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever sat down and like taken down a tin.
The weird thing,
one with actual.
The weird thing about the tin is that they're supposed to all be the same cookie, right? But to me, they taste differently.
They're like different shapes.
Yeah, there's different shapes that taste differently. All right,
enough about M&M's.
Okay, for the 2 people still listening to us, thanks for hanging in there.
Sorry, guys.
We're gonna get back on resilience. You, my friend, if you're still listening to us, are showing a high level of resilience.
Test your
That's the
resilience.
test. We're testing your resilience. I say you're still listening to this nonsense that we're babbling about. So here we go. Practice builds habits. Our habits are our character. When it comes to virtue, practice makes a very great difference, or rather all the difference. Mm-hmm. I had a little episode at my house yesterday. Son came down. Mom's like, do you have any homework? No, I don't have any homework, Mom. I'm going to be up here on Xbox, though, whatever. Mom's like, yeah, whatever. Looks through his stuff, finds he has a little bit of homework. She's like, hey, didn't get down here. You have homework. He comes down the stairs. I call for him. He comes down. I'm like, bro, what's up? Mom says you have homework. He goes, I don't have any homework. Like, dead.
Wow.
Serious.
Stuck.
And then he comes out and he goes there, and I walk around the corner. I go, did you really just walk downstairs, look me straight in the face, and lie to me about something this stupid?
Yeah.
And I was like, man. And that's what he got. Honestly, that's what he got punished for.
Sure.
Was that. Because I was like, look, there's a saying that, like, if you lose money, you've lost nothing. Or not a saying. Harvey Keitel said it in the movie. I don't know what it was. If you lose money, you've lost nothing. If you lose time, you lost something. If you lose your character, you've lost everything. Mm-hmm. And, you chip away at things. And being truthful is so important with that. It's crazy, but your habits,
trust,
your habits are what you do. I mean, if show me your habits and I'll show you your future. Yep. I think that's what it is. Building those habits and your habits are everything. And a great book for that, which is not on this we're talking about, is Atomic Habits. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend that as well.
Well, you sit there and look at Peyton Manning, look at Tom Brady. They are not the most athletic people out there, but they are habits.
DeMar DeRozan went 7 for 13 from the free throw line in a game the other day. So he sat there. There's video footage of DeMar DeRozan just at the free throw line shooting 250 free throws.
Because he was so disgusted with himself.
He made 250 free throws. So the ACC, the center or whatever in Chicago was all broken down. All the chairs were up, and there's just a picture of a guy in DeMar DeRozan shooting free throws 250 times. I go, I don't even really follow his career, but now I like him.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
He's like, that's not going to happen again. I'm not.
That's the kind of stuff that I see and go, you know what? That's just a really great attitude.
Yep.
Oh, phenomenal. Next one, smiling and breathing. Smiling and breathing. These are simple things. Exercising and serving. These are simple things. Being grateful and gracious. These are simple things. Acting with humility. Acting with courage. These are simple things. Some people try to make this business of living way too complicated. Yeah. And I think it's true. I think people get in their own way so often. I think people can't, how often do you say, man, if that guy could just get out of his own way.
Shot himself in the foot.
Just,
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Oh, God. Jeez.
Number one.
Antonio Brown is the poster child for that.
Get out of your own way. Stop. If you go through life, something came up the other day, and this person was just like, oh, everybody's against me. It was that whole attitude.
Yeah.
Oh, if I did this, this person did this. And I go, have you ever noticed what the number one common denominator of all your problems is?
You.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Because I never had that problem.
Yeah. Everybody else seems to do this to you, and
you're just
everybody's an asshole.
Yeah.
Everybody's an asshole.
Everybody's an asshole. It's like, you know what? It's funny. I bet you I could go talk to 100% of those people
and have a good conversation.
They'd be like, hey, what's going on? How are you?
Yep. No, I totally agree. And smiling is such an easy thing, right? Saying thank you is such an easy thing that can change everything.
You know what you should do? You should go up to more women and tell them to smile more. They love that.
They love that. Yeah. Smile, hot pants. So, that'll get you a long way.
Just walk off and say, you're welcome.
The thoughts of feelings of Colt Amidan.
No, that was Connell's. That wasn't me.
That's a good point.
No, don't give.
It's just that old.
I'll take all the hatred from the Tom Hanks fans, but don't pull a whole thing of women against.
It is weird, though. Like I said, it is funny, though, when you do see men telling women things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, why don't you smile more? I've seen it happen live, and I just like,
why
would make you think you should do that?
My sister, who in an alternate life was a flight attendant for Delta, right? God. And one day she said she snapped. She goes, I was on. She goes, like a 14-hour shift or whatever it was. It was crazy, and she's working her ass off, and some guy goes, hey, you should smile more. She goes, you want me to smile? Yeah. She goes, okay, now you smile, and I'll smile back. And the guy smiles her face. She goes, now hold it for 14 hours.
Yeah. Oh God.
Right.
That's pretty smooth. I thought she was going to be.
No,
you go fuck yourself.
No. Look
at that.
My sister winning with snark always winning with snark. Well, I'd love this card, this little comment, which is courage overcomes but does not replace fear. Joy overcomes but does not replace pain. What that means is I think so many people look for emotions to fade, things to stop. It's going to be yin or yang, and there's always some balance and resiliency of understanding that dude, when you go to the high dive and you jump off, and you jumped off the high dive when you're a little kid, you were scared to do it at first. you got the courage to do it, but the fear doesn't really go away. It just diminishes.
You just know you're going to be okay.
You just know you're going to be okay.
It's a known quantity.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can now you can quantify that fear. There's always a twinge, a little bit of worry. I mean, every time, people would say, "Oh, you're a great public speaker, this and that," but every time I walk onto a stage, I still have a twinge of, "Oh, okay."
I mean, every time I do a real estate deal, same thing. And we've done thousands, all of us, but still, every time I'm like, "Oh, here we go." It's you get a little, anxious, a little thing. Let's go.
It's because you're not a psychopath.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but if you can't balance
it, I'm not a
if
psychopath.
you get into a UFC ring,
we recorded that, so now he can use that against you for.
I meant figuratively. He's actually a pod person. No, but you take a UFC fighter that walks on the ring. I don't care who you are. It's that whole Mike Tyson quote.
Yeah, you scared
like,
every
I'm
time.
breaking him down. I'm scared. I'm breaking him down. Breaking him down my mind. And then all of a sudden, I step in and I'm a god. Yeah. Right. And the fear goes away, but the fear is there as you're walking into the ring.
Right.
Yeah.
You can have all the fake bravado. You can pretend to be tough. You can be these guys when they're standing there, being tough or whatever.
Yeah. They're nervous.
If you literally have no fear, you're rabid. Yeah. Right. You're an animal. You're not really a human because there's always a risk of loss.
Right.
Who's undefeated in the UFC? And everybody who's been defeated got punched in the face. They didn't have a great time getting knocked out.
No.
So that's going to be in your mind because that's how we survive. You have to understand risk.
Yeah. No. And I love this one because we talked about haters earlier, right? This is the number one thing that haters don't understand about people who are successful, which is this. Those who are excellent at their work have learned to comfortably coexist with failure. The excellent fail more often than the mediocre. They begin more. They attempt more. They attack more. Mastery lives quietly atop a mountain of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
You look at what I'm doing right now, where I invested in Nick Marietta's company, and we're doing that. And, I'm rolling. I mean, the number. It's north of 7 figures. I'm rolling into that deal. It's a big investment. And it's essentially the same setup and the same kind of a deal that I did 5 years ago where I lost 7 figures. Mm-hmm. But I learned so much from that deal about what not to do that when we looked at this deal, I realized that everything that deal was lacking and what made it fail is what makes this successful. Right. And even in the short amount of time that we've been doing this, I mean, the difference is just night and day. But 2 things about it. Number one, you're talking about I took a 7-figure loss over here a couple of years ago. So there was a second when I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, am I really willing to throw this across the table again?
The thing about
really willing to do that?
Here's the nice thing about 7-figure losses.
What's that?
It means you had made 7 figures.
Right.
No. Think about it.
No. Oh, I've done something else that I had 7 figures to lose.
That's right. So that you. Here's the thing. It's the quiet desperation of the lives that most men are leading. The Henry David Thoreau quote. Yeah. Right. The quiet desperation. They don't have $1 million to lose.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So when you know that you can make $1 million.
Right.
Right. That loss, like you said, you take the good with the bad. Right. You look at it and go, okay, I've done this before. I've gotten here before. Yeah, I took a bath here, but I learned, and it counterbalanced off some other things. So life shakes out, right?
But even that, but I don't want to belittle that loss because it wasn't just. That was a soul sucking 4-year siege of emotional stress and
Harvard
and
PhD
serious
in business.
It was
and law.
It was brutal. I mean, it was lawsuit after lawsuit. It was absolutely brutal to take those lumps, and I didn't get.
I got a couple of them handled pretty.
You did. But I didn't.
Connell.
But here's the thing. I didn't get over it.
No.
I'm using that knowledge, that pain, that stuff to get to do this and drive forward. So you've got to have that courage.
It's like when they say people.
So yeah, I don't. So somebody looks at me and says, "Oh man, that dude's so lucky." Yeah, buddy.
You haven't been through. Everybody's got
I have paid for this.
The bags of shit I've eaten on the way.
I've eaten a lot of shit over the years.
It's like when if you're 40, 50 years old and you're starting over, you're not starting over. You're not starting over without all this knowledge. Now you have all this knowledge to go step into maybe a new venture or something. But that's what happens.
A life
right?
of experience.
Yeah.
And that's a whole. You miss 100%.
Colonel Sanders, buddy.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
I love the Colonel for that reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep. So you miss 100% of all shots you don't take, right?
Yep,
that's exactly what that means.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Eric Hoffer studied the reasons why people voluntarily give away responsibility and join mass movements and or mobs. One quote he collected came from a young German who explained that he joined the Nazi Party to be free from freedom.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So I did a college presentation for a professor, in a class. He gave me 100% on it. Came over to my apartment. It was my final exam. Greatest class I've ever taken in my life.
Where's this going on?
No.
Came to your apartment.
Yeah, here we go.
In terms of a real educator, a philosopher, professor, one of absolutely everyone's favorite who's ever had him. And I took the allegory of the cave and I mixed it with Nine Inch Nails' Happiness and Slavery. And just the concept of the guy on the Plato's cave allegory, right? Like there's this whole world going on and all you know is this life of shadows. Well, are you happier knowing that there's this life going on ahead of you, or would you rather be part of the allegory, right? And Trent Reznor's Happiness and Slavery, there was a lot of parallels lyrically. So it's just, there is a lot of happiness in slavery. There is a ton of psychological dissonance. You dissipate.
Well, the freedom of not having to make decisions.
By not having to make decisions. Nope, I can't. The wife said I can't. There are men that love that.
Story of my life.
So if you're the kind of man that likes that, good for you. Probably, maybe you're, as long as you don't resent it as well. Right, as long as you don't resent the slavery, you have to take it with it.
Yeah. Now get home and make her a sandwich.
Get the chunk left.
The longer you hesitate, the hairier and scarier the fear becomes. The longer you hesitate, the more likely you are to turn around and crawl back under the covers. Screw that, Walker. It's time to begin. So essentially, what it's saying is
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, man. No, that's the dude. You know, the obstacle is the way.
Yeah.
The obstacle is absolutely the way. The longer you procrastinate, I mean, how many times have you seen kids do this? Where it's like
jump off the diving board.
Jump
run and jump it off.
And it's like forever to get it done. And then they do it and they're like, oh, well, now I'm going to jump off the roof. And you're like, dude, come on.
Or if they sit there too long, then they psych themselves out and they'll never jump off of it, right? And same with the business. If you psych yourself up too much and you'll never go do it. I mean, sometimes the whole analyze paralysis, right? Like,
well, it's like Tony Robbins, though. You know, his one of his things is if you can't, you must. Which maybe that's to sell seminar seats, but at the same time, I like some of it. It's like when people say, "Oh, I can't do that," then you must.
Have you ever done a backflip on a trampoline?
Yes.
You can do a backflip.
I mean, would I do it now?
Yeah.
No. Have I done it? Yes.
But you know that feeling.
Do I have stitches under this eyebrow because of it?
Once you've done it, the fear is gone. You go, oh. But getting up to that point is personally one of the most difficult things I ever did as a kid.
Yeah.
And so getting my kids to do it now, I've taught Ava how to do it. I've taught other people how to do backflips because you take the responsibility away a little bit and you flip them over.
Like, I got you.
See it. Yeah, right. I got you. Once they get that, though, they're doing it on their own because most things like that aren't difficult. It's just the unknown, right?
Right.
Falling backwards is the unknown.
Right.
Yep. Millions of people in all walks of life and every endeavor create distractions and excuses for themselves by focusing on tools rather than on character. They rather, as Socrates wanted, focus on what they have than who they are, which I think that's I mispronounced Socrates because it's been a long day.
So great.
That's
how they say in the South.
But I think what they're trying to say there is there's always an excuse. There's always the excuse on getting this stuff done. And I'm going to tell you, that's a big difference in some of the deals that we've done here. You know, how many people in real estate say, oh, I don't have the credit, I have the money to get these deals done. I can't get it done. That deal we did in Arizona today for $2 million. We bought a house for $2 million. We're going to sell it for $4 million. You know how much money we're going to have in that deal? $0.
Hopefully not a lot.
We got the whole back end financed, all the construction finance, and I got the front end finance with gap funding. That's going to be there. Well, $0 in that deal, we'll make $1 million. Stop. There's a way. There's a way for anything. There's a way. Right. There's always a way.
So, but I kind of read that as people focus on the tools, not the character, right? Do you think a lot of times that comes into the concept of materialism?
Well, no. What I'm saying is people tend to look at what they want and they immediately start analyzing what they don't have and why they can't get it.
Can you read that again?
Yes. Millions of people in all walks of life and in every endeavor create distractions and excuses for themselves by focusing on tools rather than on character. They'd rather, as Socrates warned, focus on what they have than on what they are. Meaning, rather than seeing that the answer to your solution, the answer to your problems is probably within you.
Right.
If you just push forward and find it, it's like, well, I can't do that because I don't have this.
Do you know how I read that? For some reason, it really stands out. It's when people adopt an identity, not on who they are, what they've done. It's what they present or what they show or whatever, right? You get the guy with a Ferrari, he's Ferrari guy. He'll let you know he's Ferrari guy. Or you get the guy with a lot of tattoos. All of a sudden, the tattoos become their personality, right? They focus on the things that aren't who they are, their character, right?
All right, I like this too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm the tattooed realtor or whatever. That's not a personality character.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a tattooed realtor.
No. The guy who
because there is a
specifically
tattooed realtor.
Is there?
Yeah,
but he's got like the rap and the poster, and I'm like, but that doesn't tell me anything about you, who you are, or your character.
Yeah.
It tells me what you have and how you present.
Yeah.
So, but what does that have to do with?
Well,
how can I trust you?
Well, no, but that goes along with everything I tell everybody.
Yeah.
That's one of my big pieces of advice to entrepreneurs is don't let what you do become who you are. Because what you do could dramatically change in a couple of years.
Sure.
Like, don't be the NFT guy.
Right.
The
like,
NFT guy.
Be you as a guy who buys NFTs. Because
precisely.
Be you. But I happen to also
because owning NFTs isn't a personality.
Yeah, but people are making it that.
They're like, I love rap. Well, that's not a personality.
Yeah,
that's a thing you enjoy. Your personality should be. No, I'm a person. I have character.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. I'm a dad.
See, and I look at it as like just because you don't have a Harvard degree doesn't mean you can't go do stuff. Like some people, like my wife's that perfect example. She doesn't have that education. She doesn't have the tools, but her character will push further past having those tools.
She's got other tools.
Yeah.
She's got the characteristics of being that way. So
I
think
get
there's
it.
a lot of ways to look at it.
I get it. The fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, in the gym and out there on the road, long before the dance and under the lights. That's
DeMar
a quote
DeRozan
from Muhammad Ali right there, baby.
Yeah.
That's a great one saying that.
When DeMar DeRozan takes his next set of free throws,
he ain't
I
missing.
bet she's banging them out.
He ain't missing. What you will become as a result of what you are willing to endure. Are you willing to work hard, to think hard? I know that you are. You always have been. That goes along with, that's the Rocky quote. It's not how hard you can hit. So whatever.
But it is discipline.
Is that the most played out movie quote right now for motivational speaking right now?
Well, just because we always go to Knights games.
Oh, we see it. That's true. We see it.
What it is.
Are you going to Knights game night?
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to.
You guys
do I
like
have tickets?
Rocky?
I don't even know. No, I don't think
I have tickets. It went off tonight. It was good. We'll still do that, which is good. But no, back to this. So again, we talk about what you were willing to endure. Hard times make great men.
Yeah.
No, it's a thing. Easy times create soft men.
Hard men create easy times. Easy times create soft men.
Yeah. So understand, man, that pain, the problems, that adversity that's hitting you in the face. Understand that. Yeah, it sucks.
Right.
I mean, nobody likes it. Nobody's enjoying it. Nobody wants that. But that's what's making you who you are going to become.
Right.
And I think social media is doing disservice to people because everybody's just seeing the top. They're not seeing that hard stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't see you at 2 a.m. freaking out over a lawsuit but they see you on a private jet. Or, people do not see those things. Like I always tell people, Michael Jordan's career was not that amazing, right? Like, I mean, it was amazing, but there was...
Sorry, say that again?
No, but he went through hard times, right? Like, he went and tried to do baseball.
No, but even but more than that, Michael created adversity out of thin air for himself.
Yeah.
He just decided... He just decided the Knicks are my nemesis in Earth, and I hate all of them, and that's just what he decided.
Pistons.
Oh, my God, he just decided...
Just hated Isaiah Thomas.
I'm going to absolutely murder this guy.
I'm not playing with him on the Olympic team.
No, it's just he just decided it, and I think so. If you don't have any adversity, again, you need to create some.
Here's also something to think about. Everybody wants a sugar daddy until daddy wants some sugar, right? You see the handbags. You see the handbags.
Boy. Who's filming that Instagram story? Who's filming that Instagram The hand's a little shaky, if you know what I'm saying.
Hand's a little wrinkly.
Heavy breathing in the background.
See a liver spotted.
A few liver spots.
How do I do the filter?
Hold the button.
How's the filter work?
There's no button on the screen. It's flat.
Jesus.
Great, nice handbag. Anyway.
A nice handbag.
Oh, boy. But we're the person who seeks to lead and has not suffered, who claims responsibility on the grounds of a spotless record.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a guy in town that kept saying, "Oh, I'm undefeated as an attorney." I go, "What you're basically saying is you've never done anything."
Right. Yeah.
That is literally the worst way to advertise. I'm undefeated. Could you imagine if you said, "I'm a commercial broker. I've gotten every single deal I've ever tried
done.
to get."
Yeah. Ever done.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
Means you haven't taken any flyers.
That way you're not trying them because you're just sitting
there. You've disserviced your clients how many times then?
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Oh, I love this one real quick. So when we rob people of their pain, when we don't allow them the possibility of failure, we also rob them of their happiness. I think this is probably with child rearing the number one thing. Dude, the helicopter parents, you got to let your kids lose. Mm-hmm. You got to let your kids fail. This is, my wife is an incredible parent and she's all about it. And sometimes, it's like I have to stop her sometimes, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you in here cutting stuff out for a science fair board? Why are you doing that?
I know.
Like, take him to the store, let her do it.
And they just want to do such a great job.
Well, they want there to be the best. My kids at like 5th grade had to do this big presentation. Like, you had to dress up like somebody in the past and decorate this whole thing. My kids' thing looked like shit compared to everybody else's. And I'm like,
that's
because my kid did it, right? Like, everybody's sitting there. I'm like, I couldn't do that. There's no way of 5th graders doing it.
Do you remember that Simpsons where they did the costume dress up and they give Lisa the award because Homer helped her with it? And they go, well, we know these other kids' parents cheated, so you're obviously the only one that did it yourself.
You know what I think? You know what I think the baseline for that should be? If my kids forget something that they need to take to school to get a grade on, and they don't get it, I don't think we should take it to school. I think that was your responsibility to get it and make sure it went. And if you were irresponsible, you should do that.
Do you want them to go to UNLV or Notre Dame, though?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, because you're a kid, right?
We're still in that place where it don't matter. And keep in mind, okay, full disclaimer, my kids get straight A's. So
I mean, these things do start to
But you got to let them fail. But you got to let them fail.
My kid, when he started playing video games, my oldest kid would get so pissed off. You know what I went in and kicked his ass all day long. Every time he wanted to play, I'm like kicking his ass. And
video games or physically assaulting him?
Both.
Oh, good.
Throw the remote at him after I scored a goal and then threw the remote at his face. Yeah, is that not good parenting?
Eat it.
Take
not. It. No, no.
It's really abusive, actually.
Okay. Terribly abusive. You're terribly human.
He turned out.
Well, guys, unfortunately, we're out of time. There's more of this that we could have gone into. I think you got the general gist. And if you're interested in learning more about resilience, I like this book. I read it. Again, it's Resilience by Eric Greitens. Check it out. It's good. It's an easy read. It's not a long read. It's not a stereo instruction read. It's not Marcus Aurelius meditation.
Grab some pumpkin cookies.
Oh, where I don't know where you get pumpkin cookies.
How have you guys never heard of pumpkin cookies?
I don't know. I think I've had people have because you need humans to make them.
Yeah, no, you don't store. Yeah, you don't store buy those. That's why they're so good. Yeah,
maybe you just have better friends or chefs that are bakers in your life than we do. But
is this a Hispanic thing?
No, absolutely. It's probably a white person thing more than anything.
That sounds like a pretty white thing.
Anything pumpkin's got to be.
Sounds pretty white woman.
Pretty white.
Are they pumpkin spice cookies?
I mean,
no, well,
oh God! I found Cinnamon Toast Crunch
bars
powder.
Yeah.
No, just powder, so I can put in my coffee now. Phenomenal. What? No,
we're gonna come in. Colt's gonna be snorting lines of Cinnamon Toast Crunch powder off his desk. Need a little pick me up.
Pick me up.
All right, guys. Well, as always, if you like what we talked about today, make sure you tell a friend. If you hated it, tell two, because it doesn't matter if they're talking good about you as long as they're doing what, Colt?
Oh, talking about you.
There you go. See you next time, guys.
The Mormon Cobra.
Hey, it's John Gafford. If you want to catch up more and see what we're doing, you can always go to thejohngafford.com, where we'll share any links things we talked about on the show, as well as links to the YouTube where you can watch us live. And if you want to catch up with me on Instagram, you can always follow me at thejohngafford. I'm here. Give me a shout.